Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Look what we got here. Before I get into this, though, some things have happened around here. Come take a peek. So in the last video, we were talking about seats. Got these amazing seats from TMI. I can't wait to use them, just not at that stage to put them in yet, due to the fact that I'll be working around them with wiring and a ton of interior work, essentially. So you can probably see that the front end has been painted black. And before all the Mopar purists come at me and start giving me crap about it, I don't care. I wanted to go black because I want that engine to pop. When I pop that hood up, I want to be able to see a nice orange block in there, orange engine, nice accessories on it, all the new parts that are going on it. I want it to pop. I didn't want to have orange, orange, orange. It's too much. You need some contrast. Oh, I almost tripped. Thank you, stool. So anyway, all that welding was done. Now we're painted up and we're looking slicker than pig poop. So next step is all of this is coming out. The K member, sway bar, upper and lower control arms, and shocks. Because QA1 hooked it up. They sent their entire full front torsion bar kit. Tubular control arms, upper and lower. You got your tubular K member. You got a sway bar for the front. And we also got adjustable shocks for front and rear. So I'm going to do an unboxing here first. And then we're going to tear into this bad boy and start taking all this old stamped steel crap off. Because, I mean, I could have easily went around and started putting bushings and everything. But I'd rather have QA1 stuff on there. So let's rip her open and take a peek. This stool is going to kill me, by the way. So not only did QA1 send their front end torsion bar kit, they sent a wicked banner. I got a hat out of it, and they hooked it up with a sweater and a shirt. So big thanks to QA1, because if you're going to rock the product, you got to rock their merch too. And if you're like me, you got a pretty good collection of automotive related t-shirts, brands, companies, all that stuff. So big thanks to QA1 for all that, because I can't wait to get this stuff rolling and give you guys the burnouts and whip some shitties like you'd expect me to be doing. All right, so let's tear into this anyway. So this box is pretty apparent what it is. It's a, I think these are the control arms here. So we'll pop this sucker open. I'm opening this for the first time with you guys. It's been sitting on the floor for a little bit now because I've been trying to get caught up on content and getting caught up on house stuff. But, oh baby. So these are the uppers. Look at that. Man, come on. Look at that. Isn't that wicked? Whew. So those are your upper control arms in that box there. Move that over. Okay, so this guy, assuming is probably the lowers. Big spider there. Right on. It's like Christmas. Ooh, nope, these are the shocks. I gotta crack one of these open, man, because I remember seeing the shocks on the internet and I was like, these look so fun. The adjustability aspect's super cool. I don't know how much I'm going to need the adjustable aspect of it, but I'm gonna play around with it and see what it does. Okay, so inside we got different sleeves for the bushings. Oh man, these are so nice. Holy smokes. Look at these things. Oh, dude. Holy. Look at that, man. So sick. And there's your dial right there to adjust them. Oh. Okay, I don't want to lose all the literature here. We got to make sure. Limited lifetime warranty. There you go. Got the warranty card there. And there's just, ooh, I love stickers. There's stickers in there. I just saw it. So let's pop that sucker back in there for now. We're just going to go through everything real quick, and then we'll get into the disassembly, because really that's the most important part, is making sure everything comes off right. So these are all the shocks in here. And I don't, so I think there's 4 boxes there. What's this guy? Tubular suspension. Okay. Oh, okay. So these here are, I don't even remember what the heck these are called. The strut rods. Measure and record the length of the factory strut rods before removing. Okay, look at those, man. Everything is so nice. Like, it's going to be hard to beat this thing in the dirt roads with all this fancy front end gear we got going on here. So the shocks and the strut rods are all in this box. And then you got a couple of different bags which just have miscellaneous hardware. So cool. That's what's in that one. And then this one is definitely, because this is a sway bar for sure, and this big guy, the long one. This is going to be the lowers. Am I opening it upside down? No. These are for sure the lowers. It's so cool to see this car come to life. It really is. Like, it's taken so long. And, you know, there's been breaks in the process. Like, you know, like any guy or any person really that works on their car, sometimes you get discouraged. Sometimes you run out of money. You know, life happens, jobs, whatever, relationships, stuff happens. And sometimes, you know, you just have to take a step back from things. And it's happened many times for me with this car. But never, ever gave up. I never sold it. I never wanted to get rid of it. There's been times in my life where I was flat broke. And I remember my own father was telling me, he's like, Eric, why don't you sell the Charger? I'm like, Dad, I can't. I can't sell the Charger. And he's like, well, you need money, and you've got a car that's worth a lot of money. And I'm like, yeah, Dad, but if I sell that, then I literally don't have anything left that I feel like I'm living for. Not, you know, not in a messed up sense like that. It's just that is what keeps me motivated, was this car for the longest time. Because it was my dream car ever since I was a kid. So I could never get rid of it, and I never would get rid of it. And I'm glad that I never did. So here we have our lower control arms. Oh, these are nice. Look at these things. Oh, man. Like, come on. These are so nice. And everything's clapped out up front. Like, I'm sure the bushings and the lowers are gone. I'm sure it's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so glad that I'm putting all this new stuff on, because I'm pretty sure all that stuff would have need bushings. Okay, those are the lowers there. This here is going to be the sway bar. So I guess what I was getting at is don't give up on your project. Take a break from it if you have to. Don't ever give up on it, because you'll kick yourself in the butt down the road. I can promise you that. A lot of dust on there. Whew. Ooh, that's beefy. Look at that thing. Holy smokes. That is one beefy sway bar. Alright, so there you go. Sway bars right there. All the hardware required to install it is right in there in a box. And the last big guy here, this one is going to be your K-member. Ooh. Oh yeah. So apparently this is lighter. I can't remember the exact number. But this guy is, I can't remember. I don't want to give out wrong numbers. But I know it's a little bit lighter. Not a whole lot lighter, but it's definitely a lot lighter than or a decent amount lighter than the stamped one. This is beautiful. Look at this. Holy. Jeez. Look at this thing, man. Holy. So this is your new K-member. All tubular. Totally tubular, bro. And then we're going to be slapping a Borgeson steering box on this guy. Brand new in the box over there. Alright, well, we've done the unboxing. Let's start ripping stuff off. I'm sure there's all kinds of different ways to start with this. I'm just going to go around right now, and I'm going to start throwing some of this Aerocoil lubricant on all of the threads of every bolt, nut, whatever's got to come off here. So that way I'm not fighting it after. And then I'll probably take the brakes off first here. start working my way around the upper control arm, pull the shock out of the way. Then I'll probably just leave the, I got to get the torsion bars out first, actually, before I get that going. But I'll probably just leave the lowers right onto the K-member. Same with the sway bar. I don't really have to disconnect all of that. I'm just going to disconnect the things that are holding it to the car and go from there. So I'll start picking away at this and I'll update you. Okay, so it is now actually technically a full day later since the last clip. Got busy doing some personal stuff. Anyway, I've removed some of the stuff that I kind of wanted to show you guys I was going to remove, or how to remove it. But the torsion bars gave me so much trouble, especially on the driver's side, that there wasn't really any good content there to see other than me swearing and yelling and getting mad and sweaty. And I even rigged up an indoor, like one of those crappy Costco air conditioners, because it is very, very warm in here. So I'll show you what I've taken off, and then we're going to start smashing off this side and get some QA1 parts on here. This side here, for some reason, the torsion bar did not want to come out. And I'm ashamed to say it, but it got pretty scuffed up. That torsion bar, I know you're not supposed to nick them or scratch them because they are a suspension component. They do flex, and there's a possibility it could cause some form of inconsistency or stress point. So I don't know what I'm going to do there, to be quite honest with you. I might just buy new ones. It's hard to see, but they're awfully scuffed up, and that bothers me. I tried using pipe wrenches, not in the way you're probably thinking, just biting on and then hammering it sideways, trying to break it free. What I ended up actually having to do, this whole side's off, so anyway. What I actually ended up having to do was remove everything and then bash the control arm out to get it out that side. So it wasn't this side that was seized up, it was back there. And I tried everything. I ruined 2 good pairs of vice grips. That's how much banging around. If I can get these. Look at these. Like flattened. They're not, like, look, brand new vice grips. Just bought them. Completely flattened. So anyway, torsion bars can be fun. So, sway bar is disconnected. All this side is pretty much ready to be removed. And then we're going to start with slamming parts on this guy once we get the K-member in. So, let's get this stuff off. Okay, first things first, we're going to grab the caliper and take that thing off right now. Get the rotor out of the way because I'm going to be banging and smashing to try to break these ball joints free. And I don't have a pickle fork, so gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way and get rammy with it, and I don't want to, slip and smash my brand new brakes. So we're gonna just pop these off real quick because why not?
I didn't realize there's a lock on the bottom of that. Yeah.
Garbage, so it doesn't matter. You hang on to those hardware, or that hardware. I don't think they were even really... Yeah, they were probably fine. They weren't leaking. They've been on this car since I bought it, so... Next up is the upper control arm, and then we can start pulling the K-member off here. It's way way too big. Probably 3/4 on that guy. That would be a 3/4. You betcha. Okay. Grab a 3/4 for the impact. We'll back that right out of there now. I bought this really sweet impact socket set. I'm gonna show you guys real quick here. Got a couple of these Vim tools. They make impact socket sets that come in, well, they make all kinds of impact sockets, but I really liked how it came in the foam. And so these are all 1/4 inch and these are all 3/8 metric and standard, so I thought they looked pretty good. I find myself using my 3/8 stubby impact quite a bit, and I also use my Matco 1/4 inch impact quite a bit. So having some impact sockets to run for those guys was pretty detrimental because I don't always need to use the big ass Milwaukee. Just realized this is a 20-minute long video so far. I think I got a lot of space on this phone there. Crank this sucker up. Whoop. Get this out. Alright, we're about to drop the K-member out now. Got all the steering arms out of the way. I'm going to just leave the sway bar connected to it for easy messing around here. Now, I don't know if I've got a big enough socket here. I think that's, yeah, it's a lot bigger. I think it's an 1 1/8" socket for that guy. Probably use the big boy for it. That would be the one, 1 1/8" for all the bolts holding your K-member in. Now I'm hoping everything goes smooth here and this thing doesn't fall on my face, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? I'll start with the farthest one away from me so I don't get crushed. One. Uh-oh. I don't like the look of that one. Hopefully the threads didn't get all messed up in there. Floor pepper. Gross. No real way to spray those. That's the only crappy part, eh? It's right inside the frame rail. Should be wearing my safety glasses for this. threads on those are not good, man. That sucks. Okay, well, it's out. Let's pop this sucker down. Right there is a good side-by-side comparison. Oop. Take this off here. Here's a good side-by-side comparison of the stamped steel K-member and the QA1 K-member. Definitely a lot smaller, more access to get to things underneath. Like when this is here and you're trying to work on the engine, it does cause for, you know, a lot of clearance issues for working on stuff. This is nice because it's all open. So let's get her bolted up. I think it comes with new hardware, so car's looking pretty naked with nothing hanging underneath, eh? You're ready to bolt this sucker on. Okay, we're gonna toss in these bad boys now. Because you need to only tighten these once you're... Okay, dynamic strut rods. Next step here is we're slapping in these bad boys. It is now almost 10 in the morning. I have not slept. Took a little break. I didn't really get into too much of the install on this side because I honestly just wanted to kind of figure it out, and I still have the other side yet to do, so I'm gonna get more in depth with that one. But this is what everything looks like right now. Looks pretty snazzy. Man, this is gonna work so awesome. Holy smokes. Look how cool this side profile is. The rotor's kind of just floating there at the moment, but whew. God, it's something. And I also got ahead of myself here and I installed my Borgeson steering box. Figured why not? It's right there. So this side yet still has to go on. So I'll do probably just yeah, set up the camera and let you guys see how I do it. Okay, let's slam this side together, folks. the good old sway bar here. This is a fairly straightforward install. You got your sway bar end links, you got your hardware, you got your sway bar. One of the main steps you don't want to forget is this lubricant that you put inside the bushing here where it contacts the sway bar. You want to make sure you do that, otherwise it's probably going to cause premature wearing or squeaking or something. You don't want that, so make sure you goop that up. All kinds of hardware here. Let's see what we got here. We got 1, 2, 3 lock washers, 4 lock washers. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these gold flat washers and 6, 7, 8 of these just regular flat washers. So we'll start off first by putting the bushings on, which will mount yeah, they mount right there. So put these guys on here. Actually, I'm going to do a dry run just to see where they sit, make sure I actually have them. I'll go here. Yeah. Alright, so I didn't finish the install on video. Got a little busy and I came out here and I just slapped it back on. But it's pretty straightforward. Load up the suspension to get your sway bar end links in. Make sure you grease all your bushings with the provided grease. You torque you have, I believe, between 10 and 18 foot-pounds on your sway bar end links. And then I think it's like 30, I can't remember now. For the mounting brackets, I think it's like 30 something. Let's take a peek here real quick. Of course, I just had the sheet and then I threw it in with all my other sheets, so now I don't know where it is. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Right here. 22 to 25, sorry, foot-pounds. So, easy enough. And most of everything else, like my upper control arm bushings, or not bushings, sorry, but the bolts, I haven't tightened those, and I haven't tightened any of the strut bars or nothing yet because I want to get the car down on ride height. So once I get the engine actually mounted in here, I'll probably have the car down off the stands, and then I mean, I'm going to snug these up so they're not just finger tight. Like, these are lock nuts, so I can crank them on just a little bit. But just for the time being, I'm not going to tighten everything right up, just to make sure I've got everything dialed in. So and then pretty much all that is left is the rear shocks, which I'm actually going to throw on right now. And then these guys here, these go in place of these factory adjustment rods here for your tie rod ends. So I don't know how well these are going to come off, and unfortunately I'm taking off to work tomorrow, so I'm not going to tackle this in this video, most likely. But once again, pretty straightforward stuff. You're just going to back these 2 nuts off here, and then you're going to try to break them free. Obviously, measure this first. Get your measurements right so you don't have to mess around with that later. Just measure end to end or center to center. And yeah, keep that written down somewhere. Pull that apart. Thread them into the appropriate orientation. Obviously, keep it loose until you get it in there, right? Thread it to where it sits and it's not binding and not pulling. And yeah, and then you can throw all that mess. I'm not a big fan of the steering setup. Like, it's pretty awful. But anyway, so let's throw these rear shocks in and we'll call it for this video. Well, I know for a fact that these shocks have been on this car as long as I've owned them. Owned it. 10 years, so let's hope everything comes off nice. Guess we'll find out. I keep forgetting that I even own this M18 mid-torque, because I never used it until I actually bought some sockets, because the hog ring kept getting messed up. It's already not letting the socket off. Hog rig's bent on there. I just haven't ordered any new ones because chrome sockets don't like that. So let's see what this thing does, because I've never really put it to the test. Look at that. Oh, perfect. Perfect, son. Alright. Got that sucker off. Is it gonna come off? Yeah, it's loose. Okay, and then the top one, I'm not sure what size the top one is here, but I'm assuming it's a 3/4 as well. Are we gonna be able to get on it? Definitely not from that side. I have to go further over here. Actually, I can get an impact on that, I think, from up here. Yeah, it's also a 3/4, so let's see if I can get a right. It's not in an ideal spot. And I should definitely be wearing some safety squints right now. I don't know why I'm not. There's some safety squints. I am rocking my safety squints. Should have safety glasses on because it's awful dirty up there. Okay, wrench is on. I guess it'll work with that angle. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Come on. Oh, and it slipped off. Oh, Jesus. Here goes nothing, buddy. I mean, I knew that was coming. I just don't know why I didn't prepare myself for it. Okay, upon further inspection, turns out that that is factory and you don't need a sleeve for the bottom. So this kit came with a whole pile of different sleeves and options, so I was just trying to make sure I was in fact using the right one. The top one's easy to figure out, but the bottom one, I just wanted to make sure that that wasn't just an old sleeve that was stuck on there from, you know, 50 years of driving on the road. We'll lube her up a little bit. I love this stuff. I don't know if you've ever used it before. This stuff is called Aerocroil. I don't know where you get it. Kind of preserving it as much as I can because I actually really like this stuff, but I don't want to run out of it. Okay, let's get this beautiful shock. Man, these things are so nice. QA1 did an amazing job on these. They're aesthetically pleasing. You got 18 different adjustments. It's pretty snazzy stuff. Okay, I'm thinking maybe I'm going to start with the bottom here. So I don't know if what orientation do I want it? In like this or in like that? Probably this way, so that way any road grime's not going directly on it from the like, that's loose. I don't like that. I don't understand how that's supposed to work. That feels really loosey-goosey on there. Okay, so upon further inspection and messing around with this, there is a sleeve that will fit over this. It's just the corrosion on this factory mounting bolt guide, whatever you want to call it, just wasn't allowing it to actually go on there. So I'm just scraping it down a little bit here with this flat blade, and gonna apply some more lubrication, and we will attempt this again here. There we go. See, that's how it's supposed to be. Not loosey-goosey. I knew something was off there. I just didn't know for sure. Okie dokie. I need some anti-seize for the top one really quick. Actually should put some anti-seize on that one too. What am I doing? That lubrication's great, but anti-seize would have been way better, more better. Yeah, screw it. We'll just do the top one. Screw it. Where did I put the bolt? Eric, quit doing this to yourself, guy. Where is it? Oh, Lord. Oh, and I gotta put those other pieces on. I am just running on no sleep right now, folks, so bear with me. I don't know where I put that bolt at now. Jesus. I just had it. Maybe it's over on the table because I'm stupid. Oh well, let's take this back off because I forgot to put these on. That one. And this one. Ooh, actually, I don't know. Clearance is awfully tight there. Well, it's got it though. It's got to be it. Okay. So I had a bit of a challenge getting this shock in, and it was all silly stuff. Now I'm gonna blame it on the fact that I'm extremely tired and my brain's not working the way it should be. But so because this is narrower than a factory shock, you would think you'd have to use these pieces here, right? These two washers to compress the bushing, or at least get everything tight. Well, when I had this on, up there wouldn't line up. So I had to take a pry bar and actually grab onto that cross member and bend it, or like assist it, I should say. I didn't bend it, but I pulled it closer so I could get that top bolt in. But down here, I ended up actually having to put a washer right there just so I could tighten it up, because if I snug it up, I'd run out of thread. So hopefully that's good. I mean, everything feels all right. And I also had to actually grind this down. I'm not sure if it really made that big of an impact, but you see how little clearance there is there between that washer and the bottom of the shock? It's so minimal. So I took that washer over to the bench grinder, and I just ran it around a couple of times to try and get it so there was some clearance, because what was happening is it was binding right here. So when I had this all the way in, I and I was up here trying to pry that shock mount over. I couldn't quite get it to fit, and then I think I figured out my problem I was referring to earlier. So those two bushings there are what make up that clearance. So I don't know, there's a little bit of messing around, honestly. I had more of a challenge getting this dang shock in than I did doing the entire front end. So I'm not sure if it's just old janky car or Eric's brain not working right, but that's what I had to do. I can't seem to find a single video on the internet of someone installing one of these shocks in a B-body Mopar. So I scoured, I tried finding some form of reference. There's not really too much detail in the instructions. It's kind of like a generic instructions for this specific application. So hopefully that helps people. You got to run them two bushings. I think that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I did. It looks right. So those take up the clearance up there. And then down here I had to actually find a washer that would fit over the stud itself and take up the clearance. Like, it is about as tight as it's going to get. I can't get it any tighter. Like that. Yeah, see, I'm pulling myself forward here on the creeper. Can't get it any tighter. I would think that you'd need to compress these bushings a tiny bit, but I don't know. It looks good. We're going to slam the other one in, and now that I know what I'm doing, it shouldn't take as long. Okay, let's see if we can get this in without any problems. Pulling the shock out of its packaging here. Camera's a little close, so it's hard to see, but I'm going to squeeze this bushing in. Probably should have did them up on the bench, but I like to struggle with stuff, so I'll just do it right here. Okay. Oh, actually, hold on now. Skipping steps. This washer's a little bent, so hopefully we're all right. Flashlight's right in the way. Yeah, that washer's definitely bent. But we're gonna leave that like that for right meow. And then I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing, so maybe I'll just kind of show you here, and then I'll move over with the camera and show you what it looks like up top. So first things first, tiny bit of anti-seize on this guy, like the other side. Oops, dripping here. That's way too much, but that's fine. I'll be wearing that later. And we're gonna get the bolt up here, and then you want the flat or the wider side of this bushing to be against the shock, so have the narrow end against the metal. So put the bolt through, slide that on, just rest it there so you've got room to get the shock up top. Extend the shock. I can already tell this one's gonna suck because of that bent washer. Probably should have put a bushing in there. Eric, you're so stupid today. I'm stupid every day, actually. What am I talking about? I put one bushing in, and I'm like, all right, we're ready to go. We're not ready to go because he didn't put the bushing on. Son of a butthead. And then this is the bushing we need, I believe. It's the smallest one, right? Yeah. There, now we're ready. God dang. I haven't slept. Been up all night, going back to work here, and I work out of town, so you know, if I don't get it done tonight, it'll get done for 2 weeks. Okay, bushing's in. Back up. Extend your shock. Place it through the slot or the hole. This one's gonna fight me. Grab your other one, same thing. The wider side's got to go against the bushing. This one I'm actually having to pull on the shock to make clearance. Oh, I just almost ate that with my face. Definitely starting to think that this is bent a little bit, because it's not. The other side was pushing away from it. This one's pushing against it, so it's weird. Okay. Now the fun part. Grab my big honky-tonk pry bar, stick it up in between the fuel tank and the mount, and I have to push against it to allow the bolt to slide through. It's not in yet. Can't even feel it. Where is it? Feels like it's off quite a bit. Yeah, these aren't going in very nice, man. And I think it's because this washer's bent, so it's actually throwing me off. Is it touching? It's not touching. It's all the way up against it. How off are we? Half a hole-ish. Not quite. I'm gonna try this. Bend. I've never fought with a shock as badly as this in my entire life. Oh, we're in. Okay. There. Jeez. This thing hates me. Goodness gracious. Okay. It's on. Let's grab this camera, aka my phone. I'll show you what I was just doing. So I was prying right here, bending it forward to make sure that could clear, because it was off, not very much, but enough to make it suck. Now, on this end, I'll show you what the problem I had. So, with this on here, it's not enough to actually tighten it all the way. See? It's loose. Still loose. So it's bottoming out on the threads before we actually get anything touching here. So, pop that back off. Crawl back over here so I can grab my big stupid washers. This one. It's ugly and it's too big. That's all I got. So that's what we're using. I think. Yeah. Awful. Just awful. And it fell down already. There. Tight, tight. See if it's touching anywhere, see? A little bit. A little bit. Looks a little goofy, but... That concludes this video. Thanks for watching. Sorry it was such a... The last bit was a bit of a pain, but here we go. All good. We'll catch you in the next one.